So I'm not sure if CreditKarma works with like international SEO indexing on different search engines with a, can you speak broadly? I have less experience on the WordPress enterprise internationalization aspect. Like what does that look like? Is it plugins? Is it working with developers? What is the general if you had to take an English site to Spanish, French?
Right, so obviously there's a lot of plugins. You have to really be careful. So because our financial products are not international, we do have products. Obviously our main site, our .com, is based in the United States. We started in the last year to produce and translate our content over to Spanish that is targeted towards Spanish speakers in the US. So then we also have two other websites. So we have a Canada site that has Canada, English, and then French, Canadian, and then we also have a site in the UK. So they have different TLDs. That might change in the future. We are getting a lot of, like, what tends to happen when you have the separate domains is analytics starts to, we're getting a lot of traffic in, that clearly is coming from pages that were on Canada and they 404 on our site. They don't exist on our site, but it's definitely confusing. International, that's the hardest thing. We have a custom setup that we did for the translation. Our tags for hreflang were also custom done, and the first time they were rolled out, it was completely wrong. Then someone went and changed all the file paths, and now we have two hreflang tags for our Spanish content. So dealing with, that, it's been fun. My job is never done, but it gets complicated. But as far as the translation thing, I would work with someone who does the actual translations that speaks that language, just because a lot of companies, I'll never forget, I had legal clients back in the day, and we used to just go to Google Translate and translate their content.
Oh my God.
Let's just say those sites never ranked, and now we know why. But there's definitely, you really need someone to go in and actually translate them for you. There's services that'll do it as well.
Rev is a good one.
Right. What's the company?
Rev, R-E-V.
Ah, good tip.
Because they do custom, so it's like actual human beings who are usually native speakers. Sounds pretty good.
Right. That's a good tip. Yeah, I would definitely go that route. Another thing, totally not related to localization, but if you do have videos, getting them translated and putting the translations into your posts is really helpful as well.
I think so.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like a service.
Yeah, they'll take a video and write the text for a description or something.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I wish I could speak Spanish. I have trouble, obviously, even auditing those pages. And I was like, what does this mean? And I'm constantly translating, but making sure everything works right. We are really I think user experience right now is huge. We are kind of behind, I think, and we have this massive opportunity. We've put a lot of focus on the app side. You'll find with tech companies, they put all their focus into the app, and the online site tends to be an afterthought. And so it's really trying to make that experience as uniform as possible. And because we are really, you reach brand saturation, and if organic is really your key to tapping into new members and continual exposure. And so making your experience as consistent as possible, making sure, so big part of what we've really been tapping into is deep linking. And doing it on our content side. Once we are able to pull the content into the app, we know users convert way higher, and the apps drive so much better user experience and tends to drive more revenue. So where you can, you want to make sure if someone searches on Google, and when your piece of content pops up and they click on it and they get popped up in the app, you want to make sure they actually land on that piece of content. that they clicked on in the SERPs. And you want to make sure that the content is the same. Because we've had mismatches. They put in deep links and then it's taken to a page that topically doesn't even cover some of the stuff that was showing up in the meta description or what Google pulled that made them click on the link. So making sure it has that